institutions or many arbitrary restrictions on the scope of institutions.
Question here.
Hello, Dr. Summers. Loved you in The Social Network, by the way. My question is, during the campaign, there was a lot of rhetoric about bringing jobs back to the United States, and a lot of focus was on manufacturing jobs. But with the global economy and with labor costs so much lower in emerging economies, do you think that's a strategy that can actually meet with success?
Look, I think the United States lost jobs substantially associated with the recession. And I think the United States lost jobs substantially associated with a general loss in competitiveness in manufacturing. And so I think that the kind of thing we did to rescue the automobile companies was very important and contributed to avoiding the loss of a substantial number of manufacturing jobs that otherwise would have taken place. But I think one does need to recognize both the reality of globalization and what I think is the even more important reality of technological change. Technological change has created a situation where, just as took place with agriculture over a previous century, it becomes possible for fewer and fewer people to produce all that is demanded. And so already in the United States, the fraction of all workers who are production workers in manufacturing is only about 1 in 20. It's true that the number of workers in manufacturing is greater, but that includes the accountants and the advertising people and the secretaries and so forth. If you ask about jobs actually doing manufacturing as production workers, it's 5%. That's about where agriculture was in 1950. And given the pace of productivity growth in manufacturing, I don't think it's very plausible to think that that's going to rise substantially. So I'm supportive of measures like preventing what would have been a gratuitous and very damaging liquidation of the automobile companies. And I'm supportive of supporting a variety of kinds of manufacturing because the links between manufacturing and technological progress are so strong. But I don't think that thinking of manufacturing as the center of a job-creating strategy is that manufacturing is likely to be able to do that, given the reality of globalization and technology.
But when
and indeed, one way of saying that is to observe that China, which has surely gained competitiveness very rapidly compared to what other countries could hope to achieve, actually has fewer workers in manufacturing today than it did in 1995.
But when you look at the statistic, the 1 in 25 to the 1 in 5 since 1965, will the fact that 1 in 5 people will be out of work, is this the new normal?
One hopes not, but the
what are they going
prospects for success, I think, will depend upon finding a range of jobs in a range of service activities, whether it's working as a medical orderly, whether it's being involved in transportation in an ever more dynamic economy, whether it's working in tourism, whether it's helping to develop a set of energy resources. I think that increasingly there are many different kinds of jobs that are going to need to be done, but more and more of the work of actual production is likely to take place either with machines or abroad.
A question from Twitter, there, it's right down there, you can see it. Should the bird rule be eliminated?
By the bird rule, the questioner...
Well, that's why I got you to read it, because I don't know what the bird rule is. I was hoping to fake it and you would know it and just pick up. And why don't we go to a question over here?